Surprise, motherfucker.
Surprise, people, indeed. Welcome to a very, very much off-the-cuff Flower Hour. I am joined with my marmalade to my Paddington. He is Mr. Matthew Angel. How you doing, mate? You all right?
I am
you
good.
Tell me I've been watching.
What's that?
I said, can you tell what I was watching when I was settling the kids?
Yeah, you thought now with the amount of things we've done, these would be getting better, but yeah, you need to do some serious work.
Shut your face, you prick.
But yeah, missing me, but
at least not debating them anymore.
Yeah.
What did you say, Ange? Sorry, mate.
I said missing me, was it? Obviously, I know you've had a bit of a sickness bug in the house this week, haven't you? So you weren't able to join on the weekend, was it, I think? Saturday? And then how's all that going? All better?
Yeah, it's been a bit fucking rife, mate, for the Boyle household, not gonna lie, with one thing or another, with the sickness and other things knocking about. But we're here, the kids are settled. I'm here, we're ready to go, bringing the people our beautiful faces for another show again. So
yeah, just a quick half hour. Yeah, I think you wanted to jump on for a half hour, didn't you? I know Si's posted a video out tonight, reaction to the Welsh games and things. So obviously, I'm not a massive fan. Obviously, I'll watch it if it's on, but it's not something I'm, an avid supporter of. If they're on, obviously, I'll support them and I want them to win. But obviously, international football is not really my cup of tea for a variety of reasons. But obviously, 2 games, 2 disappointing results. What's your thoughts on the results, firstly? And then secondly, do you think Rob Page, the chapter has closed on his book?
Yeah, that's really good points there straight off the bat. We obviously did a watch along for myself and me and yourself. Sorry, me and Pan a watch along for the Gibraltar game, and I feel like I must have a curse for watch alongs. I said to Pan before we went live, the last couple of watch alongs we've done, the only 2 watch alongs we've done, so I beg your pardon, was the playoff final for Wales, which ended badly, and then the other watch along we did was the final game of the season for Rotherham, which again ended badly. So the Gibraltar game was bad. It was bad, really, really poor. And I hear people making excuses of the selection and things like that. Yes, it was a very young, inexperienced team, but the reality is, 90% of the team that were played, if not 100%, play in the top 3 tiers of English football in the Football League and Premiership. So that's a shit argument straight off the bat. I know they haven't played together, and I know that Gibraltar's team's quite solid. We all knew what they were going to do. It was a pointless friendly. It was a very, very pointless friendly because there's no winner there. We know Wales at this moment in time. You get prepared, mate. I'm going on a massive rant here. We know Wales is present in time based on their failings in the Euros, the World Cup qualifiers, etc. We're not in a good place. which we'll touch upon part of the reason why that is in a second, I'm sure. But that friendly shouldn't have happened. There's going to be no winner there. We know Wales can't score 5 or 6 goals in an international game, and we would have poo-pooed it if Wales had won by 1-2-0 because it's Gibraltar. I know Scotland struggled against them to break them down. We have qualified for the Euros, but that fixture is just ridiculous. It shouldn't have happened. How that got signed off is insane. With the friendlies, these pre-tournament friendlies, it's all well and good, and there's a point to them, but it's usually where one team has already qualified for a tournament, i.e. Slovakia, which obviously we'll get onto in a second as well. But there was not going to be a good outcome regardless of that game in midweek. And
did Wales need to play? Did we need to play friendlies? Did we get anything out of it other than a few more nails in?
No. Well, yeah. Well, the thing is, it's quite common to do friendlies at this time of the year, and it's usually to do with the fact that either A or B team for a major tournament.
Yeah.
Fucking don't clap, so fuck's sake. This usually do with a team going to a major tournament. So we've been obviously fortunate in the last 8 years now that we've had a couple of Euros and a World Cup. So these have obviously been important as a warm-up tuning games, if you like. And obviously prior to that, we've played games against teams who have gone to these tournaments, i.e. against Slovakia. So the Gibraltar one didn't make no sense at all. It did not make no sense because obviously neither team had gone to Euros. It made no sense whatsoever to do that game. And it was poor. It was very, very, very poor. There's a lot of players there who played that day who are well and truly out of their depth. And they looked it, but I wouldn't blame the players so much. Like I said, I'm still just annoyed with the fixture. There was no need for that fixture. These young lads, they should be beating this Gibraltar team full of part-timers. To put in perspective, they're probably like the equivalent of a mid-range Welsh Premier League team. Like that's the standard they went against Gibraltar, and it just helped no one. And then obviously followed up on the weekend with the Slovakia game, and what a shit show that was. Like, I think that you obviously played a lot more of his big guns there. I know there's a change in the guard with no Ramsey, Bale, Joe Allen, etc. But this player's good enough, mate. This players are good enough there. And yes, I know you can wear the Welsh hat and think that we're better than what we are, but some of these players just bottled it as well. Like Page will take the brunt of the responsibility, but I think that the players need to put their big boy pants on and realise that they let this country down as well. Like, so much Page can do when you cross our white line. I've not played professional football, don't get me wrong, but when you cross our white line, it's on you. Like any ex-pro that we'll have, they'll come on a show and we've had before, they'll say exactly the same. You cross our white line, you hear the commands, etc., but it's on you. You're the one who's responsible for what happens in that game, not the manager. And it just is what it is. But that's my 6-7 minute rant on that.
So what's your thoughts then? Is he going to continue in his role? Is he come to the end of the road? I believe he signed quite a lengthy contract as well. Somebody said the other day. So, yeah, obviously he'd be paid out if they weren't happy. So what's your thoughts there?
the FAW can't afford to pay him off. The FAW can't afford really to pay him off, mate, until it gets catastrophically bad. I think personally, Reese and GD Parry, welcome guys. Thank you for the last minute joining, and quite a few others who's watching along. So please dip in with your comments. I'd love to get other people's views on this as well. We won't talk too much about it because there's stuff we're to cover, but I think that they've settled, if you like. I think that they've settled for Page now, and I think they've made that abundantly clear after, was it Reese or G Parry or someone will correct me if I'm wrong. The contract was offered on the back of the World Cup, that shit show in the World Cup that we qualified for a couple of years ago. And we're a rich nation, mate, as everyone knows, and I just don't think that Wales can afford to sack him unless it's completely necessary. I expect him to be there come September when the Nations League starts. I must admit, I've been so annoyed with it. I'm not too sure exactly the fixtures and stuff like that. Again, someone will correct me in a second, but the Nation Leagues, I believe, starts around my birthday, starts September. So you piece of bitches better give me some birthday cards and stuff. But no, I think that he'll be there. He'll be there till he'll go there for the next World Cup qualifiers too, mate. To be honest with you, I can't see him going anytime soon. Personally, I may be wrong, but I don't think he will. I'm sorry, I know I've spoken for a lot, so I do apologize. I'm going to start sounding like Pan in a second and Robbo. But on the alternative options, I've heard people saying about bring Ryan Giggs back. No, not in a million years. Like, I just think that's a bad move for so many reasons, and I would not welcome that at all. I think granted, I don't go to as many internationals as I have been. I've been to more internationals than I have Cardiff games. That's how much I go to watch Wales, in fairness. But I think if they was to bring back Giggs, that would be that would put you right off.
Red wall would be falling down, do you think?
Say that again, sorry.
The red wall would be falling down, do you think, if he was to come back?
Well, the thing is, though, mate, there's a lot of fans. Sai, I think, is one of them who wants him back as well. Apologies, I didn't get a chance to be sat in these little knobheads, so I didn't get a chance to watch the show with Sai prior to this. That's been pre-recorded, but there's a lot of fans who want him back, mate. And I
just think it's sailed now, to be honest.
I think so too, mate.
Too much water under the bridge now for me.
Absolutely, mate. And yes, he did do a good job, but the thing is, we've got to all remember the foundations were already led prior to that. He's picked up on a very well-run team prior to Giggs, prior to Chris Coleman, Gary Speed, the late great Gary Speed. Do you know what I mean? So, obviously, I'm not poo-pooing what he's done, what he did do. Sorry, I beg your pardon, but he just run with and Torshak is another GD Prize spot on prior to Speed. John Torshak, like they laid the foundations. I think Torshak, that's the one that slipped my mouth. I couldn't think of his name. People forget that Torshak started this revolution of the Red Wall before becoming the Red Wall and introducing these young lads and bringing them through and things like that. Gary Speed, the great Gary Speed, took the mantle on and took it, and I think obviously, God bless him, rest his soul. Then obviously Chris Coleman run with it then, and obviously finish the story, if you like, but changing the guard, mate. We'll see what happens. People are saying they want gigs bags. Some comments in here floating about already, which I'll pop up in a minute, about Cooper. I don't think his club story has ended yet. I think Cooper is going to want, another club team to manage, whether that might be before he goes down that route. But yeah, that's what my take is, mate.
So one thing, one thing I was going to mention to you, obviously with the red wall and things we've mentioned a couple of times there, and Welsh fans are passionate regardless of what sport it is, boxing, rugby. The Welsh fans are always passionate about this sport. So one thing I think would be on my bucket list would be to travel away and watch a Welsh game. Obviously, we're not in the Euros now, but you think back to the last couple of tournaments and the support out there. It looks amazing, doesn't it? I just wondered what your thoughts were on like traveling away to watch a Welsh game, perhaps.
Oh, I love it, mate. Like again, going back to like that Gibraltar game. There was about 900 fans there, and all you could hear throughout the game was the songs they were singing and whatnot and stuff. And just a small trip like that, Gibraltar, and the Algarve, and that is on my to-do list, mate. We'll cover some stuff like that in a second, obviously, but that is on my to-do list, is to do an away trip for the Welsh Wall. That'd be class. That'd be San Marino away, mate. Here we go.
Nice.
So that's a cracking little segue. Obviously, we've spoken a little bit about that shit show for the last 15 minutes. So what we thought we would discuss with you, wonderful people, is something that we try to do not once, but twice whilst we were away a couple of weeks ago. So we try to do a little, when we're on tour with our boys, Fleur Hour, we try to do a little clip for you guys and girls and they thems about away days and things like that. So as that's obviously not transpired because of whatever reason, the internet failures and whatever else failed us, we thought we would talk. Yeah, there was a couple, mate. There was a couple technical issues that were floating about. So we thought we would carry on where we left off in a shorter form, if we may, about away days. On the back of that as well, love to get your guys and girls and etc's opinions on your away days experiences as we go through it as well. So I'll try and remember exactly what we went through at the time, Ange, but here we go. So obviously you've been to a hell of a lot more away days than me. What I would like to start with is, what was your first away day experience? Who was it against, etc.?
My first away day experience, I think, was Coventry. I've been to Coventry now, I think, 3 times, but going back in the days when my dad took me, I think that was at Highfield Road at the time, and they were still playing there. So, I must have been, 13, 14 maybe, if not younger, traveling up with dad and things. So yeah, that's probably my earliest memory I can remember going to was a Coventry away game. So yeah, that's probably my answer for that. Some of the games I've been to, like I said, I've done Coventry 3 times, Crewe, MK Dons, Anfield. So yeah, done a couple. Anfield is probably obviously been a bit of a Liverpool follower as well.
Now your favourite then?
Yeah, so Anfield is up there as probably my favourite, just because of the history, I suppose, like I said, following Liverpool as well over the years. And what an experience that was. It was, it was fantastic. Me and Joshy Boy went up the night before, stayed outside of Liverpool. We travelled in, parked the car on someone's drive, one of these apps that you can use now to park on someone's drive. My mate who was also going up was parked a bit close to Anfield, so he picked us up off, after I dropped my car off, went to go down a side street to go up a road, and there was police cordoned it off. We weren't allowed to go that way because there was somebody up there with a firearm. So welcome to Liverpool. Yeah, that was interesting.
On that note of Liverpool, mate, as a lot of you probably watching along as well may have heard, so there's a myth about Liverpool that, and you guys know I love this saying, it's a bit of all fart, no poo. When it comes to the atmosphere, it's portrayed as the best atmosphere in the UK. I appreciate, obviously, you went there for a Cardiff City game. No disrespect to us by any stretch of imagination, but did you feel and find that the Anfield faithful was a bit quiet when you were there?
If I'm completely honest, yeah, probably. The build up to the game, all excited. Outside of the ground, it was buzzing. It was, a really good experience. It was rammed early doors. There was fans everywhere, people buying scarves and things. So outside of the ground, it was a really good atmosphere. I was able to go in the club shop, and my boy was able to have photos. It's like a bloody museum, really, the club shop. So the build up to the game was brilliant. And I remember buying my boy. Can I remember the grey and red candy away shirt they had years and years ago? Was able to buy one of them for him.
What a top.
He's outgrown that now. I wish I'd bought one as well. But yeah, when we were in the ground end, don't get me wrong, the atmosphere from the Cardiff fans was second class, and it always is when you go away with Cardiff. I think I was disappointed in the sense that I didn't really feel the atmosphere from the Liverpool supporters. The ground was full, but whether that's, not the die-hard fans who are going because it's Cardiff City in the third round of the FA Cup type of thing, I don't know. But perhaps it might have been different if I was sat in the Liverpool end. But, that's all I could do was Cardiff City fans going bonkers from the first minute to the last minute, and loved every second of it. It was a great experience, but it wasn't all it was cracked up to be then, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, makes perfect sense. And that's it. I think that's the thing, isn't it? We're all, it's an interesting comment here from Reese, shock horror. Don't they play speakers and recorded chants to try and make it seem louder? Was you aware of that? Did that come across to you?
No, I wasn't aware of that, to be honest. And no, it's just, it was, just not as loud as I thought it would be. You watch some of the European nights and things that Liverpool are involved with, perhaps not over the last couple of seasons, but I think
it's different then, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And like I said, it's no disrespect to Cardiff, because I thought we made a really good account of ourselves on the day. To be fair, there was a couple of youngsters playing, and I think a couple of decisions could have gone our way. I can remember the goalkeeper coming out off his line and he clipped somebody. I can't remember who it was off the top of my head. I'm sure Reese will remember. But I think he should have got sent off, and I think that changes the game, man. But, you'll always remember I'm singing about Perry NG. You're Trent Alexander, and they were singing "You're just a shit Perry NG." That was good.
That's outstanding. I love that. I know, especially because obviously Perry grown up as well, not far away from Liverpool as well. In fairness, wasn't he? So that's good. I like that. That's really good. I love that. So we got a couple of wonderful comments. Paul, legend as always. My first away game was Bristol City Cardiff Cup match. Andy Cole scored on away game. Some dude went shopping, so we had kipper and hot cross buns on the train home.
Sounds
what,
like a
kipper
great
in
day.
your hot cross buns, Paul, mate?
Not a rubber of either, if I'm honest.
Paul, you're showing your age a bit there, my friend. Bloody hell. Andy Cole for Bristol
Yeah, how
City.
long ago was it? What a player he was, mind, in his day for Newcastle and
class, mate. Outstanding.
Yeah.
Most natural striker in the Premiership I've ever seen, I think. I mean, natural. Yeah. He's up there anyway, at least. Like G. Parry says, first away game. This will bring me away. This little segue as well for me in a second. But first away game was Hereford circa 94-95. Last away, Saints 06. Though I did Wembley in the semi-finals in 08. Oh, nice, man.
So didn't you, one of your first ones Hereford, or you've been to Hereford, I know you?
Yeah, so I've done just the two away games in my illustrious career. So I'll bring on to Hereford in a second, so mine won't take as long as yours, Ange. But my first one was Bristol Rovers away. Sure, big up Stephen Boyle with PH. If he's watching, Dad, he'll correct me along the way. In fairness, you can find him on Facebook. So this must have been mid to late 90s, maybe early noughties potentially. So for my birthday, we had tickets to Cardiff Bristol Rovers, which is class. Can't remember the game, in fairness, but I remember the occasion. I remember everything about it, that aspect of things. I don't know if you really can call it a away day as such, because my family from Monmouthshire, they are a massive Bristol Rovers following, so they'd arranged with my dad for us to have to be in a box in the memorial ground for my birthday. So I was sat in the memorial ground in the box for Bristol Rovers away for my birthday. So maybe it was more for my dad than for myself, in fairness, looking back. But like I said, I don't remember the game at all, to be honest with you. But I just remember that. And but no, my other game I went to, like G probably mentioned about Hereford. So I got a lot of friends up in Hereford, still do. So my last experience there was, Christ, it must have been about 10 years ago, maybe 10, 12 years ago. It was a pre-season friendly where it was the development team for Cardiff playing against Hereford United. The first were playing at home. I think it might be Valencia, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so it was me and my old man in the away end in the Hereford ground. I think there must have been, it was double figures. Must have been about 40 or 50 of us there. Cracking day, absolute cracking day. And Hereford War Club, I think they've unfortunately, some people might correct me now, but I think they've gone under now, in fairness. And it is a very historic club, great ground. It's a massive shame to football to lose Hereford. But yeah, I always remembered what was his name? Etienne, was it Velaconia? Was he the Finnish boy we signed? Something like that. Yeah. I think he made a handful of appearances for Cardiff, but he was fucking dog shit in the friendly against Hereford. I think he actually scored them, in fairness, but he was still so poor. But obviously at the time, I think Hereford were, League 2, or they would have been non-league, in fairness. But yeah, it was a good crack, and that was my most recent one. And yeah, Reese says, yeah, doing an away game, Roberto, get any special. We'll go on one this season, I reckon. That's a great shout. I do agree with that. I think that's something that we should do. We've spoken about it a little bit more fair, maybe on air as well. But I think
if anybody's got a minibus we could borrow, I'm happy to drive it. So hit us up. Is there maybe we could get somebody to sponsor us by donating their the minibus for hire for the night or whatever, and then we can promote their business then over our podcast show. So if anybody out there knows anybody who has a minibus for hire, send them our way. Rob's not afraid to send them a chat on Instagram or any socials. He's getting quite good at that now, in fairness. But yeah, I know Simon talked about it. It'd be good if we could get a couple of us to come in.
Yeah, that'd be class, mate. That'd be it. I think that's on our to-do list this season. I think that'd be a good day out. That would. Yeah,
I'd like to try and do some more away games this year with my boy. I think that's the plan anyway. So yeah, we'll see what happens, and I'm just looking forward for football to come back. I know we got the Euros coming up, but like I said, we've got no real affiliation with that because Wales are not in it. Looking forward to the fixtures coming out on the 26th of June, Wednesday the 26th of June. So they'll be out. I think we'll be doing a live podcast, so we'll be telling you guys as and when the fixtures come out so we can discuss that. But just looking forward to football coming back. So going back on some of the other stories then from away days. If any of you got any comments in there or any memories you can remember from away days, then great, put them in there. I think away days are always better because the atmosphere is better for me. Fans are passionate, like you said, and just makes that away day more special. But MK Dons will always stay in the back of my head because we went to play up there. Go on.
No, I was just going to say, I love the question of the worst of things, and I'm sure this is where you're going to lead to your worst away day experience.
Yeah, MK Dons, only because of the fact of the weather. It absolutely bucketed it down. They were playing in a stadium. I'm not sure I'm sure it was like a hockey stadium or something, and it was obviously in between when they were moving. Because I'm sure they used to ground share with someone else prior to that as well. But yeah, the ground was all open, so we were stood out in the elements then and absolutely lashed down. So that was my worst experience, really, just because of the weather, really. Some other stories. I went up to Crewe the 1 year. And this one will always make me chuckle. Dad took me down to get some food at half time. The guy in front of us asked the lady for 2 pies and 2 bottles of Coke. She put them on the counter. And as she done that, he picked them up and he said, "Oh, can I have another bottle of Coke?" And as she turned her back to go and get it, he just picked the stuff up and off he went. And that was the end of him. So I just thought that was brilliant. I don't encourage stealing from vendors of any kind, but it just made me.
I knew it was bad, but I still found it funny. That's one of the best ones you told me. I love it. No, we don't condone it. Stealing is wrong. You're a naughty person. You're banned off our page if you steal. Maybe not.
Unless you steal something for us.
Yes. We're open to stealing for our profit and our benefit.
Yeah.
So.
Another story from when we beat Barnsley in the FA Cup semi-final. I think we drove up to somewhere in outskirts of London, caught the train in then. Went to this pub, me, my dad, and another friend. The pub we were in was opposite a supermarket. I won't mention names. But they sell a lot of frozen food. And some Cardiff fans had gone in there and there was chicken portions flying from one side of the road to the other side. Just bonkers. But they're all stories, and they all making, memories that'll live with you forever. Again, I'm not condoning people going into shops and throwing chicken thighs at each other from across the road, but yeah, it was just bonkers, and just something that I'll always stay with you. And I thought, obviously, we did want to do this when we were going away on a football tour for the weekend, and hence why we wanted to talk about away days. But I just thought it'd be good to talk about them. People in the chat can have a comment and just try and think of things that they went through and some of the memories because, at the end of the day, they're memories that stay with you forever, really.
Anyone else thrown some frozen food about? Preferably on an away day, not your home orchard, like your partner or something. Any turkeys being thrown at someone. MK Don shared with Crystal Palace. That's the one. I knew it was something like that.
I wasn't, Crystal Palace and Wimbledon, was it perhaps? Because they shared a stadium together for years, didn't they?
Possibly. So while the people are thinking about their best away days, oh, hang on, wait a minute. I'm going to go to this one here, the Zeus of our team, Reece David Evans, brought away this year, met a girl, and you up there, took her to the game, drank myself silly and a whale of a time. Is that would she confirm that she had a whale of a time as well, Reece, though, most importantly? Or was it quite adequate? That's what I'd like to know. And does the ladies you spoke to, or the 50-year-olds you spoke to on your holiday, approve of this as well, by the way? But we move. So, talk about bucket list and things like that. It's a two-part question, really, on this one, but because the reason I ask it, because I got two parts and answer myself. So, what would be your favorite? No, what's your to-do list, and what would you like to do in terms of an away day in the UK? Not Cardiff related, but like, is it a derby or something like that you'd like to go and watch in the UK?
Yeah, Rangers and Celtic, or Celtic Rangers, whichever way you want to do it. I think that's a massive fixture, I think. And I think that, only from stories I've heard and of what the atmosphere is like, I would like to go and have a little look at that and just experience that, I think. What about you?
See, I would have said that as well. But I think I would go with the Newcastle-Sunderland derby. I think that would be a naughty one to go to.
Yeah.
I think that'd be interesting. I think I'd like to go St. James's Park, but I wouldn't want to be in the away end because it's in the back arse nowhere, isn't it? The away end. You are right up in the gods when you go to St. James's Park in the away end. I know the atmosphere is great and stuff like that, but that's one I'd like to do in the UK, I think.
Again, just to jump in before you talk about anything else. Again, the clubs up the northeast are all well supported as well. They're all passionate fans as well. Would you agree with that?
Oh, 100%, mate. They're a different breed. They have a lot of, like the Scots. There's a lot of similarities between ourselves, I think, isn't there? I think that we are quite similar in our passion and our love for football. We come from very similar working class backgrounds, I think. Would you agree?
Yes.
So I think that there's quite a common, and that's no disrespect to our fans or any of their fans in the slightest, but I think that the working class fan, be it football and any sport, maybe has more of a appreciation, I think, and I don't want to turn this into a a tier sort of chat or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But I think that there's a different background. I think you're brought up differently, and I think that we appreciate things a little bit more, dare I say, from that sort of background. But I may be wrong, but that's how I see it. And if you don't agree, then go fudge yourself. So tough. It's my show, our show. Screw you. But
there's a comment
that's
of Rhys David Evans about non-league derbies. Now, my cousin Lewis, he's got a season ticket up in Merthyr, and he absolutely loves it.
Oh yeah, that's
he is proper old school as well, where they do like, I don't know if you ever had it in school. You didn't go to Lewis Boys, you didn't, did you? But the bakery in Pengham used to do like half a loaf, and then you could put chips from the chippy in there with curry or whatever. But they do that up there as well, like, and that's probably the reason he likes going, to be fair, because
I've seen it, mate. It's been on away. It's been on. Sorry to interrupt you, mate, but the grub up there has been on an away days football group, and where shares like food and stuff like that from ground, and it looks absolutely banging. Like,
he does do podcasts himself. Perhaps one night we can get him on the Flower Hour, perhaps, and he can talk a little bit about his experiences up in Merthyr and stuff like that.
Sounds good to me, but
yeah, happy days. We'll get him on. So I know that question you asked originally was a two-parter, so I think we only covered the one part, did we?
We did indeed. So, okay, actually, I'm going to check another part to it as well. So, what's a away day match you would like to see? I'll finish up with the other part as well, so I'm going to wait. What's an away day outside the UK match you'd like to see at an away day derby? And what's a stadium you'd like to go to outside the UK?
That's a good one. I'm going to keep it fairly, like I don't really follow any football outside of Cardiff, Liverpool end, for example. So, and sounds a bit thing because I don't really follow Welsh international football. But going back to what I said earlier about, the red wall and how good that atmosphere looks on away games, I'd love to go to like a World Cup game, whether that be in, Spain, like, Real Madrid's stadium, the Nou Camp. I know the Nou Camp is obviously massive and things, but I'd say like a quarter-final, semi-final, even a final. I don't know if we'll see it in our lifetime. I doubt it, but just like a Welsh game in a big game like the World Cup. So yeah, that's mine. What about you?
What about is it a stadium you'd like to view as well? Like not necessarily a match, it's like a derby, but is it like a ground you've seen the atmosphere? I know, again, maybe I'm pulling you apart by here, but is it a ground that you would like to go to with Cardiff potentially?
With Cardiff against Real Madrid in the Champions League, that'd be ideal. Again, not going to see that in my lifetime. Just for the history and things behind it, really, just so you can walk around and just think about, who's been there, who's played there, the legends of the game. All legends normally have gone to like Barcelona or Real Madrid, but yeah, Real Madrid probably for me.
Nice. So,
what about you?
For mine, and yeah, it's quite a comfortable one. In fairness, the derby I'd love to go to is the Milan derby at the San Siro, Inter versus AC. That's on my bucket list. That place is nuts. I think that the football's not great in Italy. I'll come to that in a second, Paul, mate. The the football's not great in Italy. It's not the most exciting, but I'd love to take in the Milan derby. I think it would just be nuts. They're so passionate, the Italians. They're mad. It's sort of people I could get behind. And I may not survive it, but I think it'd be class.
I was going to say you'd have to take a stab-proof vest with it.
Talk about not surviving. I tell you, to the ground then I'd love to go to, which is 100% on my bucket list, and Paul just brought it up here for an away game for Cardiff, is Dortmund. I would love to go and join in the Yellow Wall. I think that's just mad, and I'm all for it. I just think it's bonkers. They seem like great people. Like, they seem like good people as well. Like, and I think it'd be a good crack. Like, I think it'd be a hell of a crack. Whether I survive it, it's not a matter. But that'll be one hell of a Flower Hour away day trip to go to Dortmund to do the Yellow Wall, man. That'd be nuts.
Jamie Carragher enjoyed it, didn't he, when he done it?
Mate, it was class. Like, I know for all his faults and things like that, he is a good pundit, but that footage of him when he spent time in a pre-match and stuff, and then obviously come out and done the interviews afterwards, is just nuts. Like, he was off his trolley. And I tell you one thing as well about Dortmund fans as well. There was a post that was knocking about. I'm not sure if you've seen it, mate, and other people have seen it. So prior to the Champions League final, obviously the Dortmund fans obviously coming in a little bit earlier and things like that. They went to, like, I think it must have been like the 6th tier of the Football League, maybe the 7th tier, going to local teams to watch teams playing football, just supporting local grassroots football pretty much, which I've always class. Unbelievable, mate. I can't remember exactly, but I'm sure there was a team, it must obviously be close to Wembley somewhere. There was about 100 Dortmund fans there, like literally just watching, like, let's say tier 6, tier 7 football. So just because they love the football, and I think that's brilliant. That's quality. That's what you want, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's brilliant from a football fan perspective. Like, just literally doing it just because they love the football, like, and that's just class. So good, so good, mate. And I think, and they price it right as well. Like, a season ticket for like a Bayern or Derby or Dortmund, sorry, beg your pardon, is cheaper than most championship teams. Cheaper than some League 1, League 2 teams as well. Some of them, like, they just don't. They're not all about the profit, mate. They're all about the fans, like, and they do it right. And it says it all when you got fans coming over from Dortmund for the Champions League final, and they're just seeking out football to watch and going to watch bottom tier, with all due respect, football matches just because they love it. And it's just class, man. It's class. I love it.
Awesome. I got one more question for you then before we start wrapping up.
Let's get wrapping.
Before we start wrapping up, just wanted to say how there's still tickets left, I don't know. But the Joe Ledley event on July the 6th at Splot Conservative Club, there are still a couple of tickets on sale. The poster is on the Ace Podcast Nation Facebook and social media sites. If you can't find it and you need it, any information, drop me, Rob, Si a message. We can all get it sent over to you. But yeah, it's going to be a great night. The ones we've had previously have been absolutely superb. Well organized by the people at Ace Podcast Nation. So yeah, if you can get a ticket, £10 for a ticket. It's going to be a brilliant night. I can't wait. So yeah, looking forward to that one. And then before I ask Rob my last question of the night, just a big shout out to AJM Embroidery and Print. There's been a banner going across the screen throughout the show. They specialize in providing embroidery and printing, things like school uniforms, football tops, anything you want, basically. They can do it. No job's too big. No job is too small. The customer service is second to none, first class. So if you do need anything, they've got a shop in Cumdal and Vach. And they also got a website you can have a little look on. I know something, Rob have used them quite a bit for the under-9s football over in Fleur Hour. I know we picked up the presentation shirts, didn't we, not so long back. So, yeah, they're brilliant. But thank you very much. We've got our T-shirts. I think we could do with a couple more, to be honest, though. Matthew Browne. Save us having to wash out.
Tag him in it, Matt. Tag him.
Yeah, I'll tag him in it when it goes out. But yeah, because we're on all the time now, we're having to take over from Si all the time. We're doing these podcasts more than Simon is now, to be fair. He needs to pull his finger out a little bit. But no, jokes aside, I know we've had a bit of a rough day today. I know his wife Becky's not very well. So Beck, hope you're feeling better and he's looking after you. Yeah, take it easy. So, Robert, I know. I can be nice at times, just not all the time.
Yeah, true. Okay.
So just going back to some of the stuff we talked about earlier with away days. Then, so if transport wasn't an issue, money wasn't an issue, we haven't got to worry about waiting until payday and things like that. Tickets were all sorted. Which ground would you like the Fleur Hour to do a trip to during the season? The Fleur Hour fun bus.
Dortmund.
They don't play in the championship though, Robert.
For championship. Oh, right. Sorry. Right. Sorry.
Yeah, and obviously we talked about trying to organise something to do an away day.
Oh, sorry if we went anywhere. I do apologise. I misread the question. Misheard the question. Bristol City probably the safest bet, wasn't it? It's not too far away.
Yeah.
That's probably going to be our best bet. Tickets might be a bit scarce because of the derby.
What about
I don't fancy Swansea.
What's that? Don't fancy
I don't fancy Swansea.
No.
I don't fancy that, mate.
I might fancy it if it weren't a bubble match and you had to get on the bus in Cardiff.
Screw it. It's not worth the hassle, mate. It's not worth the hassle. I would say for our first ones, keep it close, keep it a little bit local. Maybe not Bristol City because of a derby in it. It might be a bit more difficult. But even like a Midlands team or something like that.
Year, brother, unless it's a cup game.
Unlucky.
But what about a proper away day? Travelling up to Borough, being welcomed off the minibus by Andy Campbell. That'd be a good crack, wouldn't it?
That would be good.
Picking Rodri gigs up on the way.
That would be. Screw him. He's a United fan. No. Sorry, Rodders. He's like he's watching us anyway. No, that would be mint. Oh, I would love that. And Andy would love it, I think, as well. Get up here and whether he likes it or not, tough shit. Andy, Mr. Andy Campbell, we're coming for you. No, I do think it'd be good to do at least one away trip this season together. I know you'll probably do a few anyway with our Joshy boy, but I think it would be nice, mate, for us to do one. Even if it's just the four of us or two, pardon me, four of us, two of us, whatever it may be. It'd be a good crack, lad.
Yeah. Right then, are we ready to wrap up? What we got planned for the rest of the week? Do you want to tell the people what's on the agenda for us the rest of the week?
Yes. So, you lucky son of a guns, we are back yet again. I feel like I must be getting paid overtime for this now. We are back again tomorrow. It's Wednesday. It's quiz night. We all love a quiz. Unfortunately, it's not me doing it tomorrow. So it is Matthew Angels. So God help us all. But no, I know he does some class quizzes. He's a championship quiz as well. He's well prepared on it. So it's going to be a banger tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. So quiz night tomorrow. So make sure you're all sharing, liking, loving, and all that business. We'll put it up on the socials when Simon creates it for us, basically. So that'll be a good crack. Thursday, I think he's got Rodri back on again, haven't he? On Thursday, probably talking about some United stuff. So keep a look on that on his podcast Nation. And change of programming, as obviously you guys know, we normally do our Saturday shows where we talk about football and Cardiff, etc. We will be on Friday evening this week to accommodate some schedules. So keep a lookout for us on Friday. Obviously, it's the first day of the Euros as well. I know he's not a big fan of watching international football, but that's fine. But I'll have that on the background, so we can be able to talk about that as the first game of the European Championship kicks off with Germany, Scotland, I believe. So yeah, we can have a little butchers about that as we go. And yeah, Friday's show, guys, is we talk about whatever you want. In fairness, it is Cardiff predominantly related because we are Car City World. But obviously, any questions, things like that you want to talk about away from Cardiff, absolutely more than happy to talk about, except with Wales, because that's dead to us now. So we're not going to talk about that until the Nation League starts.
Yeah,
but I think that covers it, Mr. Angel. I know.
Go on, I'll jump in here. Sorry, just before you wrap it up. Friday night, I don't think we've really had a chance to have a chat, just me and you. Obviously, we had John Robinson on last week. Brilliant, what a bloke, by the way. But obviously, since the manager's been announced and stuff, the retained list have come out and things. I don't think me and you have really talked much about it on the Flower Hour. So perhaps that's something we can have a little chat about on Friday, and then just see where the comments and the interaction takes us, I reckon.
See where the evening takes us, my boy. Right, without further ado, I bid you good night, God bless, and we shall see you tomorrow. Obviously, one thing left to say.
Up a flower.